In this video, I will definitively show that every other religious, spiritual, so-called moral or scientific, especially scientific system, is extremely evil in the essence of demonic deceit, which has everything to do with deceit. Yeah. Sky Law King. Sky Law King. The King of Kings. Again, the King of Kings is a martial arts King of Kings that ends with me. It is an African martial arts King of Kings who did not separate himself from African truths by leaving Africa. How could it be any other way? Skywalking, Sky Law King. Horus, the deity of divine law. And first and foremost, that is restoring the divine order, his main concern. You cannot be a hero or good if your main concern isn't serving God by trying to restore the divine order that ends with me in this world and continues with God. Moral, mental, and romantic precision. The precise cause. The precise timing, and the hero emerging. The hero is not going to wait until only his people are left, or only people who didn't stand with the top martial artist are left. The hero is not going to wait until after 2019 to emerge. That's insane. The trajectory of mind control makes that clear. The hero is not going to sit there until everyone has a chip in their brain and computers are controlling their movements, okay, to emerge as a natural martial art hero, right? That's sick. That's evil. Anyone who emerges after that must be seen as evil. Number one, the Matrix. Magic A tricks. Who's the alpha? Right? Some magic card bitch. Right? Tesla looks like a magician. Look at people carefully. Right? The modern day quote unquote magician, right, with his magic tricks, is a scientist. He's just got his magic tricks up, so to speak, right? He just improved his magic show. Okay? He's wasting your time. He's distracting you. Instead of you studying profound spiritual truths, you're going to the circus or some shit. You're going to some magic show. It's stupid. These are circus tricks. They're not martial arts. They're not how do you connect to God. It's a circus, magic wand, Pope Fisher stick kind of bitch shit. So again, number one, the Matrix is the yuppie, gender-neutral, shallow, feel-good world energy. God is intense, focused, moral intensity. He's not this kind of shallow tennis-playing, yuppie, feel-good, foosball bitch shit. Think about it. How could it be any other way? The drugs that people commonly use trigger the key parts of the brain that this sissy energy flows through. Of course, flow is wolf backwards. It's as evil as live backwards, and trap is part backwards. Number two, Horus is a Skywalker because divine, intense love vision starts with martial arts skywalking. It starts with the martial arts. Sky Law King, right? Spar it, spirit, spare it, parrot. Okay? To parrot versus some mimicking bitch. You know, a parrot, right? This starts with God working through the mind, body, and soul with his spirit to raise Pharaoh into what you might describe as the intense sun martial arts consciousness. Not the same as worshiping the sun, mind you. And only through my line and those I approve of. Everything else is the essence of demonic deceit. And Isis, she was also called Iset, right, or Set. Her name means seat. Set is a play on words for seat. All deceit flows down from snaking me out of my rightful place. Any culture that doesn't prioritize giving Pharaoh his rightful place is a snake culture. Why wouldn't you prioritize the most morally sound person's place being given to him? Why wouldn't you put that first if you're not a snake culture? And any relationship derived from a snake culture is a demonic relationship. My body having been forged with righteousness, no snaking, and no ill-gotten gains, okay, is a key part of this. This is generational righteousness, divine law, divine order, hair war, right? Air war, hardware. Okay? It's an air war. Skywalking, right? This is a divine royal bloodline, and you know them by their works. The king emerges, the Skywalking king emerges with pure truth, not as a controlled opposition, secret society, controlled ninny, with pure truth, not as a nerd, not as a scientist, not as a priest, but as a martial arts spiritual vessel of God. Not as the witchcraft, switchcraft, crafty, craft cheese, right? On board with the rape cult craft energy bitch. But as a true martial artist, speaking truth, the way, the truth, the life. The true meaning of life, the point of life. The point on the pyramid. Arrow, pointing the way. Okay? Not as an archer. Pharaoh is controlled by God's spirit being expressed through him and not science training or world-based learned behavior energy. Not that yuppie, gender-neutral, shallow, feel-good world energy. This is what allows for him to naturally and supernaturally outmaneuver the opponent with timing and in skywalking motion, not set positions. So again, I'll put at the end a longer version of this explanation. Basically, when we look at Ip Man, for example, he's in this kind of shallow, gender-neutral, feel-good world energy, and he's using a kind of scientific learned behavior from the Tai Chi jump dummy, okay, to outmaneuver brutes and people who are less focused. There's a spectrum of focus. The person who's more focused than him is focused with righteous intensity and has focused righteous intensity as part of his training. And you know, the bell that rings the loudest is to restore the divine order, and he is the rightful heir to it. Nobody is more motivated, naturally, supernaturally, or otherwise, than the person who is trying to restore the divine order for God and to address the rapes, the murders, the thieves, etc. as God's rightful choice. They wouldn't have a chance against me. That's why they couldn't beat me even though they were covertly drugging me. And the masses of martial artists knew better than to even try, because it doesn't take the top martial artists to see why they are insufficient and unworthy. It is that focused moral intensity and what I've just described that allows for Pharaoh, the top martial arts, the Pharaoh, the O is the winged disc of Ra, to naturally and supernaturally outmaneuver the opponent with timing and in skywalking motion, not set positions, in motion. Then he receives the Falcon Core vision at the point of intense reception of the revelation and vision of the Spirit strike that comes through God. God's Spirit comes down into him and reveals it to him. This can't be done scientifically. It can't be done with drugs. It can't be done with psychological tricks. It can't be done with the New Age bitch. It can only be done this way and only with Pharaoh. It's even in their own Egyptian books. Only Pharaoh can claim to understand the sun cycle. Let me read this for you real quick. Okay. No one, page 137, white person's book. Veronica Lyons and Paul Hamm. No one but the Pharaoh could claim to identify with the splendor of the cycle of the sun's death and rebirth. No one but Pharaoh could understand the most powerful symbol in nature put there by God for us to understand God. No one but the top martial artists could even claim that. Everyone knew that, period. When you want to know about God, you ask Pharaoh. You don't ask the bitches who snake him, who look good. You don't ask the pussies that democratize his power. You ask Pharaoh. You don't ask a bunch of barking dogs that say, there's a bunch of barking dogs. Let's, now you can join our political movement. You ask Pharaoh. The top path. After he has this idea revealed for him, and the moment of this boom, this is about the Spirit. Now I strike. Life and death situation. The Creator to naturally control life and death. Something those nerds can never, ever, 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 ever do. They were not meant to do. God made it so they could never truly do it. You can only use magic card bitch and control a bunch of pussies that let them be in charge. Okay, that moment of intense reception of the revelation and vision of the Spirit. Okay, then it's followed by multiple surgical strikes. Okay, Godspeed, light speed. Obviously, they reduced my form, so I can't truly demonstrate to you, but I can kind of show you what's left of my form and what's left of the illustration. And obviously, this has everything to do with moral precision, moral intelligence, moral insight, moral clarity, which is romantic precision, romantic intelligence, romantic insight, romantic clarity, which is mental precision, mental intelligence, mental insight, and mental clarity. Moral, romantic, and mental clarity are the same thing. If you are morally clear, it's because your brain is allowed for it, your philosophy is allowed for it, the truth, you are the truth. If you're morally clear, you are romantically clear, you are mentally clear. Females who don't know to obey Pharaoh by default are raping themselves, masturbating, and they're being raped by other guys when they have sex because they are not mentally clear. Why can't you have sex with a woman when she's drunk? Because she's not mentally clear. She's not of sound mind, sound judgment. Okay? If they don't know to obey Pharaoh, they are fucking insane. They are stupid, shallow, whiny little rebellious kids that need to be punished severely for the severity of their crimes, for the seriousness of their crimes. Moral clarity is romantic clarity, is mental clarity. So I can say it as moral precision, moral intelligence, moral insight, moral clarity. I can say it as romantic or mental of these things. It's all the same. You know what you want. You're smart because you're morally smart. The scientist who doesn't obey isn't smart. He's a crazed, skilled laborer at best. That's all he is. You know? It's like a fucking carpenter, right? If a carpenter makes the perfect desk, is he smart or is he just a skilled laborer? You know? The revelation of a scientist is not divine. That's why they use the light bulb in their own scientific symbolism. Because the light bulb is not the sun. When they go, I have an idea. I have a flying machine, right? It comes from the yuppie, gender-neutral, shallow, feel-good world energy. That's why they are sissy, demonic, cowardly bitch and not real men. Think about it.